Hey guys, Scripted here with another video, and I wanted to give a little update on some rumor mill stuff having to do with the Avengers Doomsday movie that is currently being filmed. It's been kind of a weird one, in the sense that, like, they're filming a lot of stuff with just one actor. That's what it sounds like. Like, they're going in and doing a lot of, like, green screen and a lot of stuff. And so there was that rumor that Robert Downey Jr. and Ryan Reynolds had a bit of a dust-up. Well, somebody had an argument. Sorry, that's what I should say. It wasn't a rumor. Somebody major, a big actor on the set had a dust up with another actor. And then the rumors came out afterwards that it was Robert Downey Jr. and Ryan Reynolds. And this new rumor kind of dovetails that and makes that make more sense, that it was those two actors that were having an argument. Because the rumor, of course, is that Robert Downey Jr. is threatening to quit. But the reason why is different than the Ryan Reynolds thing. But it does seem like they tried to keep a lot of the actors separated, or maybe it was cheaper to do that, or whatever the reason was. So it is kind of funny that two of them had an argument when they did put two of them together. I mean, they're going to have to act together at some point. You can't do every scene all alone. I don't know, obviously, but it's a guess. It's claimed that things are going so poorly with Doomsday that not only have the Thunderbolts actors allegedly clashed on set. Okay, so there's another one. Are they saying that that's the one? Because when it was released that somebody had an argument, they said it was a major actor. And none of the Thunderbolts are, like, that major, are they? Like, not to me. Maybe I'm out of the loop. So is this another clash? But Robert Downey Jr. has even threatened to quit if the script isn't fixed. Now, I think this could be totally true. And the reason I say that is because he's getting paid an astronomical amount of money to do these movies. He's also extremely important for Marvel. He's their number one guy.
Remember, you are my number one guy.
So he would have a lot of clout. He would have a lot to say. And the reality of it is he could walk and be perfectly fine. The guy's got so much money, it wouldn't matter. But this is a little off because the script isn't done, right? They're writing it while they're filming it, which to me is such a stupid move. Too many people are doing that. I don't know. To me, at least have, like... And I get it. They got away with it with the original Star Wars trilogy, all that stuff. I get it. It does happen, and they do get away with it sometimes. And it still works out really well. But I just think something this massive and complex, with all these stories coming together, it would be smarter to just at least have, like... Maybe not every line, but the majority of the script pre-done. That's the way I look at it. And of course you can make changes along the way, but you know what I mean? I just find that disorganization isn't a good thing. And if you were an actor, right? And so you're Robert Downey Jr. and you're playing Doomsday and you don't even know where the story's going until you're filming it, that creates a level of insecurity. And I think you might not act as well. Like he might, because he's a really, really high-end actor. Ryan Reynolds might. He's also a very high-end actor, even though apparently he's a douche. But these are high-end actors, so they might get away with it and be okay. But some of the lesser lands, I don't think it's good for them to not kind of have a feel and an understanding of where this is going. The report comes as new rumors circulate that the script has been scrapped and is now being rewritten by the Deadpool team. Marvel Studios dropped an Avengers Doomsday teaser at Disney's Destination 23. Following the claims about the Thunderbolts actors, YouTuber Doomcock continues to report on alleged troubles with Avengers Doomsday, saying the movie script has been tossed out entirely. As far as Doomcock goes, you know what? He's had a few that were absolutely dead on as it relates to Star Wars and stuff, and he's had some that weren't. That's why they're called rumors. But this one does feel believable again because Robert Downey Jr. is at a point in his career where he's not messing around, I don't think. And I think they approached him to be Doomsday, even though he was already Iron Man. And I think, realistically, they probably need him more than he needs them at this point. At least from their perspective, right? Maybe not from you as a fan, but from their perspective. So I do think this could very, very easily be true. Doomcock continues to report on alleged trouble, saying the movie script has been tossed out entirely. According to our sources, a draft of the latest script of Doomsday is so bad that the writers are being forced to leave and new writers are coming in. Even as you're filming. You see what I'm saying? If this is real, that's nuts. But this has happened before. I mean, with Solo, right? The Solo movie. They had to bring in Ron Howard, and they had to change a whole bunch of stuff, and it just wasn't going well. Not necessarily the script per se, but just the way things were going wasn't working with the original director. And we've seen other Star Wars projects, Marvel as well, where they've switched writers, sometimes multiple times. Sometimes 2, 3, 4 on their fourth set of writers, right? So this is entirely possible, and I don't know why they're doing... Again, why are you doing things this way? Why is it so disorganized? Especially, like I said, with all these stories and everything converging. You better have your head on. Like, don't just wing it. Doomcock points to Robert Downey Jr. as the key figure behind the shakeup. Allegedly, Robert Downey Jr. himself is making this call. He has threatened to walk away from this movie if Disney doesn't redo this. And that's the thing, is he kind of can. He's got that kind of leverage on them, right? Boy, oh boy, this is... Doesn't it just feel like everything that involves Disney, it just seems to be just a mess? It's been a mess for a while now. A long time. And yet they still voted all these board members back in last year, including Iger. Doesn't it just feel like a mess? And then Chapek came in and it was just as much of a mess, if not bigger. And then he leaves and Iger comes back and it's still a mess. I wonder, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think it's just there's just too much going on? Like, Disney bought so much stuff. The scope of their influence and their content and their channels and all of their different companies and theme parks and on and on and on and on. ESPN, right? News outlets, ABC. It's just, do you think it's possible that, they bought so much stuff that when they finally bought Marvel, they were hanging in there, and then when they added Lucasfilm, that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back in a way, and then it was just all about the DEI stuff, and they just lost focus, I know I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, and the reality of it is they're just a bunch of woke people probably, but you do wonder, like, how much of a factor, like, the wokeness is obviously a factor, but you do wonder if how much of a factor is they just got too big for their britches, as you would say, and they're just stretched, and they're not organized. This just feels so everything they do now just feels like a disorganized mess. Everything at this point. Pretty much, right? I mean, I guess they got away, like Lilo and Stitch seemed to go fairly smoothly. But it's just, this is happening all the time now. These stupid things. That's why I think it's probably true. Because this type of discombobulation has been happening for a long time. The YouTuber adds that the script of Avengers Doomsday focused heavily on the female MCU characters, which we know have been a big post-Endgame bust for Kevin Feige. Well, then why would he do it again? Then again, he has a boss too. He has a boss too. And I go back to it again, never forget. The VP of one of Disney's sort of subsidiaries or whatever, departments, when James O'Keefe had a hidden camera and this guy literally said, Disney thinks they're going to change how we view the world. In other words, they see themselves as a propaganda machine for whatever it is they want people to think. Right? And Feige works for them. And they all got reelected in. So it's just, this probably is true. According to these sources in the script that they had rejected, the movie was going to be heavily female, including a female character for every male character in the movie. Why don't you just write a good movie and don't worry about that stuff? See, this is what can make a movie bad. Is when that's your focus. Okay, I don't mind if we have 20 men, but we gotta have 20 women too. And make sure it's even. Why don't you just write a really good story, and if it happens to have a few more men, or even a few more women, if it's a really good story and good movie, who cares? No one would care. don't worry about that stuff so much. It's so stupid that that's all they care about. But again, this is how Disney's been operating. So Feige is working for them, and he's trying to please them. So maybe, just maybe, as the tide has sort of already been turning culturally, Robert Downey Jr. now is putting his foot down to move away from this nonsense that at the executive level has been getting pushed through. Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds' role. Doomcock adds that he was recently contacted by insiders who offered that the Deadpool writers are being called in to fix the script. Which, again, feels believable to me. No, there is no script yet. The script that was being written has been scrapped, and the rumor is Disney is working to get the writers of Deadpool to write the new script. And you're in the middle of filming! What is going on here? But I believe it, because if they were going to flip the script, so to speak, as cringy as that is to say, it would make sense that this is the route they would go because of the success of Deadpool and Wolverine and just Deadpool in general. It does seem to make more sense that way. If the rumor is legit, it implies that Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool will be a big part of Avengers Doomsday. Well, and Deadpool makes money. I mean, you know, and he's funny. I mean, whatever. I don't particularly like Ryan anymore. It seems like he's kind of a douche, but the character, and he fits the character pretty much perfectly, because Deadpool is kind of douchey. Like, that's probably why he plays him so well. Finally, Doomcop claims Marvel may be thinking even bigger, which fits with recent rumors, and that hopefully things will be fixed. I'm hearing Robert Downey Jr. has stepped up and is assuming a leadership role on the set, and the Russo brothers are kind of giving him a lot of latitude while the script is being revised and possibly in an act of optimism. I am told that Marvel is allegedly considering expanding this into a trilogy because there's so much material to cover. Yeah, I could see that. And at the end of the day, I mean, you let me know. Do you care? I don't. As long as it's done well, I don't care. Just do it properly. Just don't do a crappy job. And I love the idea. Now, this is the problem with this rumor, though. Is this rumor is very... It is a rumor. We don't know if it's true. But it's very likable. So it's easy to be like, yeah, this is what's happening. Because the idea of Robert Downey Jr. stepping in and saying, you guys, this is garbage. We got to do what's right by this character and by these comic books. This is stupid. What are we doing? That would be awesome. I want that. I want this cultural shift to continue to take place. And it's going to take people on the ground level like him to do that. Because the people at the executive level are still completely bonkers and are so removed from how normal people think that they just don't get it. They just don't. And so it makes a rumor like this something you really, really want to believe, right? Even though we can't say that it's true. We don't know. But it is something you want to believe. Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. fighting the fight, making sure these are good. He's not letting them over-feminize it and putting down the male characters. He wants it done right. That sounds awesome. So hopefully it's true if that's the road they were going. I'll tell you that much. Doomsday's getting released next year in December. Boy, oh boy, if they're rewriting scripts with all these actors and stuff, and there's just, like, this movie's going to be extreme in terms of post-production. Let me know in the comments, are they filming Secret Wars as well? Like, at the same time? That would be smart. I'm saying in my other video, like, I don't know why people don't do the Lord of the Rings stuff. Film it all at once. It's cheaper. Everybody's happier. They get it done quicker. The movies can come out quicker. And then you can focus on post and not be worrying about actors fighting and scripts this and that and all this other crap they're dealing with. Making up the confirmed Doomsday cast includes, it's just everybody's in this. Literally everybody. Old Magneto. Old Professor X. I mean, if it's done right, it could be really good. It really could be really good. So there you go, guys. What do you guys think? Do you think this is believable? I do. Personally, I think it is. It doesn't mean it's true. It is just a rumor, but it sounds like it makes sense. I mean, you go into filming without a proper script, and you're still writing it on the fly. Already, actors are going to be like, what's going on here? And then when you're in the middle of it, and a guy like Robert Downey Jr. is like, this sucks, what are we doing here? They're going to make adjustments. So either this rumor's... the thing about this rumor, too, though, is it's either completely true or completely false. There's no middle ground. Because if Downey Jr. was like, this is retarded, we need to do something else, they're doing it. They're going to switch. And I think that's the key here, because if he didn't say anything, they'd just keep going, I think. I think they'd just be doing what they're doing. Anyways, guys, what do you guys think? Does this make you more hopeful that it's going to be better than maybe it was going to be? Does this make you think that maybe it won't be woke? I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to see it day one. I want to find out. I'm not wasting... I don't go to the movies anymore. You know, it's like my Gen Z video. When they were trying to Disney talk, oh, we need Gen Z. And I was talking about how, like, bro, like, I'm not Gen Z, but even for me, I'm not spending money to go to a movie anymore unless I know it's not going to suck. It doesn't have to necessarily be right up my alley. I don't want to know every detail. But if I hear that it's a woke fest and, you know, just another put male characters in their place to elevate female characters, if that's what we're going to be getting, I'm not spending a dime. I'll tell you that right now. So thank you to all those other YouTubers that go to these movies the day they come out, because I'm just not prepared. And the time, right? We live out of town. I got to go into town. I'm not doing it. Anyways, let me know in the comments section what you guys think, if this gives you hope or not, or whatever. If you're looking forward to this movie, as usual, please like and subscribe. Always helps the channel. Feel free to check anything else on my channel. Have yourselves a really good day.